Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Nation's Leaders from Coast to Coast podcast, where we spotlight political figures shaping America's narrative coast to coast. I'm Stephen.
And I'm Leah. Today, we're looking at the career of New York Representative Elise Stefanik, whose rapid rise from a freshman lawmaker to one of the most powerful Republicans in the House is a remarkable story.
It certainly is. She first made headlines for her age, but has since become a major force in the direction of the Republican Party. Let's start at the beginning. What was her background before she came to Congress?
Elise Stefanik grew up in upstate New York, and after graduating from Harvard, she went straight into Republican politics, working in the Domestic Policy Council of the George W. Bush administration. She later worked on Mitt Romney's 2012 campaign, where she was mentored by his running mate, Paul Ryan. When she decided to run for Congress in 2014, she made history. At just 30 years old, she won her race and became the youngest woman ever elected to Congress at that time. Her initial reputation was very much in the mold of Paul Ryan, a pragmatic, policy-oriented conservative.
That initial reputation as a moderate seems very different from her public profile today. What was the turning point that led to her becoming such a prominent national figure?
The pivotal moment was undeniably the first impeachment inquiry into President Trump in 2019. As a member of the House Intelligence Committee, which held the main hearings, Stefanik emerged as one of the president's most skilled and relentless defenders. Her sharp, televised questioning of witnesses gained her widespread praise from the president and his supporters. This moment marked a clear and decisive shift in her political identity, moving her from the moderate wing of the party to a vocal and leading ally of its populist base. This alignment completely reshaped her career trajectory and set the stage for her ascent into leadership.
And that ascent was rapid. Tell us about her current leadership role as chair of the House Republican Conference.
Her defense of President Trump directly led to her leadership position. In 2021, when House Republicans decided to remove Representative Liz Cheney from the role of conference chair due to her criticism of the former president, Stefanik ran to replace her. She won, becoming the number 3 Republican in the House. The conference chair is essentially the party's chief messenger. Her job is to oversee the party's communications strategy, lead daily press briefings, and preside over the meetings of all Republican members. It's an incredibly powerful position that gives her a major platform to shape the party's agenda and public image.
With such a high-profile national role, how does she balance that with the needs of her very specific district in upstate New York?
That's a key part of her work. New York's 21st District, known as the North Country, is one of the largest and most rural districts in the state. Its concerns are very different from those of Washington, D.C. The district is home to Fort Drum, a major U.S. Army installation, so she is a very active member of the House Armed Services Committee and a vocal advocate for military funding and support for soldiers and their families. She also focuses heavily on issues important to the rural economy, like supporting local dairy farms, promoting tourism in the Adirondacks, and working to expand broadband access. For her constituents, her powerful position in Washington is seen as a benefit, giving their rural district a much bigger voice at the leadership table.
That's our profile for today. Thank you for listening to the Nation's Leaders from Coast to Coast podcast. You can find show notes for this episode and links to our sources on our website, pointedwords.com. Please note AI assists in the creation of this podcast from pointedwords.com. And remember, better pointed words than pointed swords.